The Walking Dead, Season 3, Episode 7, When the Dead Come Knocking. Episode 7 of The Walking Dead Season 3, When the Dead Come Knocking, heightens the tension between Rick's group and Woodbury, building suspense for the mid-season finale. This episode delivers intense action, emotional depth, and the growing sense of an inevitable confrontation. Plot summary. Michonne joins the group. The episode opens with Michonne, Denai Guerrera, at the prison gates, injured and surrounded by walkers. She watches as Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, and the group fend off the walkers and hesitantly let her inside. Despite her mistrust, Michonne delivers the formula she scavenged for Lori's baby, earning a tentative level of acceptance from the group. Rick and the others question her about how she found the prison and her connection to Woodbury. Michonne reveals that Glenn and Maggie were taken by Merle, alarming the group and prompting Rick to prepare for a rescue mission. Her arrival signals the beginning of a fragile alliance between Michonne and the survivors. Woodbury, Glenn and Maggie's torture. In Woodbury, Glenn Rhee, Stephen Young, and Maggie Green, Lauren Cohan, are being held captive by Merle Dixon, Michael Rooker, and the governor, David Morrissey. Glenn endures brutal interrogation from Merle, who tries to extract the location of Rick's group. Despite being beaten and threatened with a walker, Glenn refuses to talk, displaying incredible resilience and loyalty to his group. Meanwhile, the governor interrogates Maggie in a more psychological manner, using intimidation and threats of violence to break her. When Maggie also refuses to reveal their location, the governor escalates his tactics, exposing his sinister and manipulative nature. The scenes in Woodbury are deeply unsettling, showcasing the cruelty of the governor and the strength of Glenn and Maggie. The rescue mission. At the prison, Rick, Daryl Dixon, Norman Reedus, Oscar, Vincent Ward, and Michonne prepare for the dangerous mission to Woodbury. Herschel Green, Scott Wilson, tends to Michonne's wounds, and Carl Grimes, Chandler Riggs, helps with the baby, solidifying his growing maturity and sense of responsibility. Before leaving, Rick reassures Carl of his leadership and tells him to protect the group in his absence. This moment highlights Rick's trust in Carl and the weight of responsibility placed on him at such a young age. The governor's plans. In Woodbury, the governor continues to manipulate Andrea, Lori Holden, keeping her unaware of Glenn and Maggie's presence. He charms her into believing in his leadership, further solidifying her loyalty to Woodbury. Andrea's growing trust in the governor contrasts sharply with Michonne's warnings, deepening the divide between the two former allies. The governor also begins to plan an offensive against Rick's group, seeing them as a threat to Woodbury's stability and his control. The prison's vulnerability. Back at the prison, Carl shares a moment of reflection with Beth Green, Emily Kinney, and Axel, Lou Temple, about their losses and the challenges of survival. The prison, though temporarily secure, feels increasingly vulnerable with Rick and the others gone, adding a layer of suspense. Key themes and elements. Loyalty and sacrifice. Glenn and Maggie's refusal to give up the location of the prison demonstrates their unwavering loyalty to the group and their willingness to endure extreme hardship for its safety. Trust and alliances. Michonne's arrival at the prison sets the stage for a tenuous alliance with Rick's group, highlighting the difficulty of building trust in a world filled with danger, power and manipulation. The governor's calculated cruelty and his ability to charm Andrea underscore his dangerous duality as both a leader and a villain. Family and responsibility. Rick's interactions with Carl and his leadership in planning the rescue mission emphasize the importance of family and the sacrifices required to protect loved ones. Character development. Rick Grimes, Rick's determination to rescue Glenn and Maggie showcases his leadership and his commitment to his group as a surrogate family. Michonne's guarded demeanor and willingness to help the group reveal her strength and her potential as a valuable ally. Glenn Rhee, Glenn's resilience and bravery under torture highlight his growth as a dependable and strong-willed member of the group. The governor's cruelty toward Glenn and Maggie and his continued manipulation of Andrea demonstrate his dark, controlling nature. Maggie Green, Maggie's strength and defiance in the face of the governor's intimidation show her resolve and loyalty. Memorable moments. Glenn fighting off a walker while restrained, an intense and harrowing sequence that showcases his survival instincts. The governor's chilling interrogation of Maggie, a moment that reveals his ability to manipulate and intimidate. Michonne's arrival at the prison, a pivotal moment that begins her integration into Rick's group. Rick's farewell to Carl, a touching moment that underscores the emotional burden of leadership and parenthood. The group's preparation for the rescue mission, a scene filled with suspense and determination. Conclusion. When the Dead Come Knocking is a suspenseful and emotionally charged episode that builds toward the mid-season finale. With its focus on loyalty, trust, and the moral complexities of leadership, the episode deepens the stakes for both Rick's group and Woodbury. The intense interrogations, Michonne's introduction to the group, and the looming conflict set the stage for an explosive confrontation, making this installment a standout in The Walking Dead Season 3.